Hello, future adoring fan. My name is Luther, and I am writing this to keep tabs of my rise to glory as the hero and savior of Azeroth. I figure I don't want my future adoring fans to miss out on my humble ascension to the top, so I'm keeping a log for you. I've been training for what feels like a few lifetimes over here at the North Shore Abbey, but today I got word from Derek that he's gonna let me go on my first real adventure. I'll keep you, the adoring fans, updated when I get the details. Day 2. Derek has given me the full details of my most righteous quest. I'm to gather a few friends and deliver supplies to Darkshire. A job that is wholly beneath me, but one that I cannot refuse. If I show Derek I can handle this, then he'll let me do something more on my level, maybe even personal guard to the king himself. Day 3. I packed up and headed for Stormwind today. I decided to grace my friends with the opportunity to join me. First up, I chose Ace Bombfist, a plucky little pink-haired gnome. I doubt he has any actual dedication to skills that'll help us, but he has access to explosives, and lots of them. I've heard that the spiders in Duskwood can grow to the size of wolves, so this is a must. Second, I've asked the beautiful Miss Jazz to join us. Sure, she is more interested in her finger-wiggling arcane arts than she is in me, but this is a chance for us to grow closer, and for her to see there are more important things in life than books and magic. We agreed to meet at the Pig and Whistle for a drink, a last hurrah, and then off to Darkshire. Day 4. I have found what lies at the bottom of a bottle, and it is misery. I regret my decision and my life. Ace won't shut up, despite being half my size and drinking at least double what I did. My only theory is that he's sustaining himself on the misery he inflicts with his high-pitched yapping about inventions. Jazz, being a lifelong student, appears to have shown us true intellect by being the only one to abstain from the creature, and thus is feasting on smugness and a healthy dose of "I told you so." Regardless of our ailment, the quest awaits. Our supplies are tied to a small cart with a donkey, and we make for Duskwood. Day 4 continued. I barfed on Ace. He does not see the humor in this now, but in a few years when we're all laughing about our first adventure, I'm confident he will. Day 7. We've had a few days of travel under our belts as we head towards the bridge connecting Red Ridge to Duskwood. It has been mostly uneventful, save for a few highway robbers who thought that we were an easy mark. Jazz turned one of them into a sheep, remind me to never get on her bad side. The other would-be brigands turned hoof, avoiding their inevitable polymorph fate, and I insisted we hunt them down and dispose them to prevent future issues. But Jazz, as our sweet and naive traveling companion, seemed appalled at the idea. I dropped it so that I would not sour our mood or travels. Day 11. We finally crossed the threshold in Duskwood, and none of us were prepared for this place. The entire land has a tainted smell like a vaguely rotten vermin hidden somewhere in the floorboards. The light has vanquished itself by the brambles and thorns and ever-towering trees. The way to Darkshire is still long, and we're forced to make camp alongside the road. We decide to sleep in watches to try and give a little peace of mind. I feel like there's always eyes watching me from the bushes. Spiders the size of direwolves creeping silently above in the treetops. Ace took the first watch and lived up to his family name. He stuck a stick of dynamite in a spider's web and blew the blasted thing to the next realm. I hoped the blast would scare away everything, but the land seems uncaring to the danger we present. I took the second watch. I tried to write this as I sit near the fire, but I found it impossible to concentrate. It feels like someone is brushing against my neck and whispering evil into my ears. Yet the bushes, those damned eyes in the bushes, never seem to leave me alone. I woke Jazz for her watch. Hopefully, I can get a little sleep. Day 12. This is a day where it all went wrong. This is no longer a journal of a hero who come to save Azeroth. This is now a warning to stay away from this cursed land and leave these wretched townfolk who refuse to leave their fate. It is their own burden to handle if they wish to remain in this den of rot. I'll write as much and as long as I can, but know I fear I will die here and leave this legacy incomplete. If you'll stumble upon this warning, take heed of it and leave. Less than a day away from Darkshire, a small band of feral worgen attacked us. I'm convinced the eyes from the bushes were watching us. That must have been the beasts. It felt like 1,000 of them and there were only a few of us. We were being overwhelmed, and I had no choice. I had to make a choice. My friends or our cart of goods for the people. I hope whoever reads this can understand, right? I did what I did for the people. We're adventurers. We finished the quest no matter what, right? So I took the cart and ran. Ace and Jazz did what they could, and they'll understand. Day 12 continued. I made it alone to the town of Darkshire. I curse this gloomy hollow and the citizens that call it home. I delivered the goods to local barkeep Han, and I ordered a drink for each fist and took a seat by the fire. It struck me how quiet this tavern was. The town itself felt dead, defeated, like it too was succumbing to the rot. There was no merrymaking, no cheers and laughter, just the silent crackle of the flame and the hacking of the butcher in the back making God knows what for food. I thought this would be the end of my entry for the night. I'd get a bed and sleep. But to my surprise, within a few hours of being in town, a man outside the inn was calling loudly for help. I went to answer, along with a few other curious city dwellers. A night watch patrolman was coming back into town, calling for help for the wounded. He'd apparently stumbled upon Ace and dragged his now fiery and exploded body back to town. Day 13. Ace is recovering with local doctors and healers, if you can call them that. He needs more than a few bandages and hopeful words. They said he was in and out throughout the night. I wanted to press him for details, but it didn't seem like it'd be fruitful. I spent some time with the night watch, specifically the man who found Ace. He said he saw blasts on the ground and claw marks everywhere, real signs of a struggle, but no signs of Jazz. In his expert opinion, if she was not already dead, then they probably dragged her back to the den near the rotting orchard. He advised me to cut my losses and take my friends who survived home, but I'm not leaving without Jazz. I left Ace in the care of the others and returned down the road to the site of the attack to see if I could find anything we missed. Within a few minutes of leaving town, the smell of the tainted land began to get to me. It reminded me of a mausoleum if someone had left a rat in the wall to die. I felt like the eyes were watching me from the bushes again, but every time I stopped to look at them, they disappeared, like they knew what I was going to do, and just danced on the outskirts of my vision. Despite not seeing any evidence of rain, the road was soft and squished with mud. It should have been daytime, but there was no evidence of sun, no warmth to chase away the gloom of this land. The only light was the lanterns dotting the road. I found myself thinking while I walked, why didn't I just listen to the night watch? Was Jazz really worth all this? She knew the risks. She could have said no. When I came across a land where we had been waylaid, I felt the pit of regret in my stomach grow. I could have stayed. I could have fought. You could have died. A voice not my own seemed to whisper in my ears. The anxiety spread from my core to my limbs as a slow venom infects its prey. I noticed in my breath, in my fingers, my body did not want me to be here. It sounded every alarm and said, go back to the comfort of the fire and hearth. But there had to be a sign of Jazz. All I had to do was find something, anything, and I could leave. The ground was a mix of mud, blood, pain. If there were secrets here, they were since used as fertilizer to rot beneath the earth. Day 14. Disaster continues to follow me wherever I go. There's no sign of Jazz, and Ace did not pull through the night. I can't go home now. 2 lives lost for a simple delivery? What will they think of me? I have but 2 options. Try to find Jazz, or remain a permanent fixture in this land, adding to the misery. I'll take the Night Watch's word and head to the rotting orchard in the Beast's Den. There I'll find answers, or I'll find relief. I care not which. Day... whatever. The eternal gloom that haunts this woods has made it impossible to keep track of the days. I've been following a stretch of road to the south to find the orchard. I know I'm going in the right direction. The smell of decay increases with each step. My body once again is telling me turn around, go home. People will understand. Or maybe I can just leave bits and pieces out. Maybe Jazz wanted to stay here and study the land. They would believe that, right? The eyes are not on me today. Even my tormentors seem to have abandoned me. Every so often I hear the sound of leather hitting the dirt road beside me, as if someone was walking with me. But of course, when I look, There's nothing there. There's never anything there. I see the giant spider webs, but no spiders around. I cannot imagine what would frighten even them away. A different day, I think? I made camp alongside the road last night. I kept seeing a shadow move back and forth outside my tent. It didn't look human, it didn't look spider, but I know it was there. I poked my head out and it would be gone, but it was there. I saw it, damn it, I saw it. My mind keeps wandering to those who live in the shire. Why do they stay here? They could leave. Why endure this? It makes no sense. Who would want to live like this? They have to be a part of it. Perhaps they draw unsuspecting adventurers like me and they feed us to their worgen or their undead or the rot or whatever it is. Yes, that seems to be the only reasonable answer. They sacrifice others to live in peace. The next morning, I think, I caught sight of some sentient shadow. It saw me and immediately moved towards the rotten orchard. I followed. My mind is so preoccupied with those selfish ingrates in the town. This is all their fault. Ace is dead because of them. Jazz is dead because of them. I can never return home because of them. A thought occurs to me. Maybe Jazz is not dead. Perhaps she was turned into a feral worgen. If I cannot return home, perhaps I should do the same. We could be feral beasts together. We could seek revenge on the townsfolk together. Yes, that seems to make the most sense. As I approached the orchard, I could see all the lanterns had died. No one has serviced this area in a long time. Even the night watch was probably too scared to come here. I should be too, but honestly, all the anxiety has left me at this point. I was not going to die here, but rather I'd have a new life, and a new life with Jazz. I decided to wait one more day to see if I could spot anything unusual or out of the ordinary. Another day? This will most likely be my last entry. I've resolved myself to getting bitten and cursed myself. I did not see Jazz. She must be deeper in the den, but I can't fight my way in there, so the only way is to become one of them. Once again, my night was filled with shades coming around my tent. But this time, I heard them. I heard them talking. They didn't think I could understand them, but I could understand them. They mocked me. But they'll see. I have the resolve to do this. I can join their ranks, their little feral band. The eyes in the bushes have returned once more, and this is a clear sign. I'm on the right path. They're watching me. They're waiting for me. They're inviting me into their ranks. This will perhaps be the final real update. I found a stray who had wandered too far from the others. I managed to win the fight and ensured I was bitten and scratched and his blood mixed with mine. It'll be a matter of time and I shall become one with them. A few hours have passed and my blood feels like fire burning from beneath the skin. It feels like I'm breathing through a wet cloth. I have to endure a little longer and I'll be made anew.